Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Thank you to those who join me live. You're watching this on playback. Also, welcome to yourself. We've done it. We've done it yesterday. We turned up needing a point. We got all three. I have to say, I was very confident, even prior to yesterday. The nerves were building. As kickoff got a little bit closer and closer, I was getting a bit more nervous, but I remained extremely confident. And a couple of scary moments by Southampton, Kyle Walker-Peters, Minamino, both going close. But we got the job done in the end. And I think the winner went against West Brom is when I really felt that we were going to go on and do it. I wasn't really that bothered about yesterday's game, but it was a day to be proud of West Ham, if you like. We got the job done, and West Ham of old would have bottled that kind of thing, especially with Tottenham going 2-1 down, then coming back to win 4-2. So, anyway, happy days. Europa League, here we come. Right, anyone in the live chat, thank you for popping along. Quite a few of you, Andy, Revo, Marlon, Jazza, Rob. Thank you, everybody. We'll get a couple of things to get through first of all. So we've got the Europa League here. We sort of touched on it a little bit. We're going to do a couple of videos about the Europa League this week, quite generic ones kind of thing. But today I've seen a rumour that we've got 75 million for the summer. I don't really believe it for the start. Supposedly 75 million plus any player sales kind of thing. Don't particularly believe it at all. Is that a fair budget? I think it would be. I think 75 million would be a decent kitty going into it. But we're going to need numbers as well as quality now. And this is where it gets a bit concerning kind of thing. Because yesterday, I was at the boats yesterday before the game, and there was some people discussing what striker we'd get in or what striker we'd like. Tammy Abraham's probably still my one. And he's 45 million. And Moyes had said about Abraham and Inez would been too expensive. And I can see why, because it sort of hoovers up most of the budget. But I do just hope the Europa League, I'd understand him. Say Moyes had 75 million, he was thinking, I need a striker, top striker, hopefully gets another striker in as well, a cover for midfield and maybe a left back, something like that. Let's say Moyes was looking at 4 players, 2 of them sort of first team 11 quality and another 2 sort of squad player kind of things. Now we're in the Europa League, that 75 million would have covered those 4 players. Now in Europa League, you might be thinking we probably need those 4 plus another 2 or 3 players, yet the budget probably doesn't shift too much. And I think that's where my concern comes in kind of thing, because I think for West Ham to compete in the Europa League, we are going to have to play our first 11 or near to our first 11 pretty much every game in the group stage kind of thing. And it's going to take its toll. It's going to take its toll in Premier League. But I'm not going to worry about that too much until next season, because we're in Europa League. I'm just enjoying it, to be honest with you. I'll worry about it next season kind of thing when the sort of the Europa League comes around kind of thing. Fabian Balbuena, I was going to say, played his last game for West Ham. He'd done that quite a while ago, but he's confirmed himself that he's leaving West Ham. It's not really a secret. We're all knowing he's out of contract and he's unlikely to be here next season. But Fabian Balbuena's put up a post on social media sort of saying goodbye kind of thing. And I'm a bit sad by it, to be honest with you. I always thought he was a decent centre-back for us. He had a few bad games, but I also thought he had a few really good games as well. So the fact that we've knowing that we were probably going to get European football and we still haven't tied him down to even a 1-year contract extension. Of course, the player himself might have turned around and said, I don't fancy playing for West Ham next season. I'm going to go do something, play somewhere else. That's fair dues. But I just think it's one of those players that sometimes you don't know what you got. You can't miss what you don't have or something like that. You can't miss what you don't have. I think with Fabian Balbuena, I think there's a perception that we won't miss him. And actually next season, I think we will miss Balbuena at times. I think there will be games where maybe a little bit, even if it's just light on the bench in terms of centre-backs, I think we might think, wish we kept Balbuena on, because I don't really want us to see us have to go get a centre-back this summer, because hopefully Frederick Alves is going to step up kind of thing. But we'll wait and see. But anyway, live chat. Let's get into the live chat. Get any questions, any comments, let's get them in as well. Hi, Guy. How you doing? I'm doing all right, Gary. I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. We've got the win yesterday. I'm feeling good. Rob says we should focus on 2 quality players. Basuma's available on a striker. Then if Lingard's reasonable price, to go for him. I think our transfer budget should be able to land. Look, Lingard taught now, isn't it? There you go. Ken Hammers at the game yesterday. It was like 70,000 in there at times. An emotional day, massive step forward for football yesterday. Couldn't agree more. I wasn't in the ground. I was in London. I went down to the boats. I just stayed on the boats and watched the football with a few other people who didn't have tickets and stuff. And it was a good day. It was a good day had by all. And it, obviously, qualified from Europa League certainly helps, doesn't it? And Marcus says we need a goalkeeper, left back, left or right back. Start at the back and you work your way forward. I know a striker is a must. Christian, run down who you'd buy with the budget. I don't know. I'd have to think about it, to be honest with you. How does the draw work? I'll cover it. Alan, I'm going to the video Wednesday. There'll be a video going up Wednesday, I think, which will be purely about Europa League. So how does it work? Money involved? What other clubs are in the competition and stuff? But what I will say now, which is just easy to say, is that we're in the group stage. We go straight into the group stage. There's no qualifiers. We're in that group stage, which is just massive for us. We're guaranteed 6 Europa League games, 3 of them at London Stadium, 3 away games. That comes with money as well, being in the group stage too. So I think it's a massive step for the club. It's an absolutely massive step. What's pleasing is the way the team chemistry has always been there to see. All season we've seen the team chemistry. It's hard not to see it. But yesterday, I don't know, the way that Declan Rice was speaking, the way Pablo Fornals was speaking, the way Martin Noble was speaking, you just think this club, this squad, I've just got it at the minute. This, and I was watching BT. Not gonna lie, I put BT on earlier because I had to send a clip in, and I was on BT yesterday. Just put it out there. I was on BT. Back on BT. It's been a while since I've done it. I did it for quite a while, then I couldn't be arsed doing it. Then I did it again yesterday. But I was watching that bit, and they were saying that I think it was Joe Cole was saying that sometimes in the past West Ham have had the players that have come in and sort of done their own thing sometimes. You know, they wouldn't necessarily get involved in the squad or even on the football pitch. They'd sort of obey the manager's instructions a little bit. But with this group of players, the way that the group of players are at the minute, if anyone was to come in and not fit, they'd almost get kicked out straight away kind of thing. And I thought it was a really good point, actually. We all know Moyes has got what we call the MOT test. He does his character checking a player. He buys a person as well as a player, David Moyes. And I think that's going to be crucial going forward, actually. And I think sometimes we'll get linked with players who we might really want kind of thing. But if Moyes does a sort of background searching, looks a little deeper into the player and decides that he doesn't like him, it is what it is kind of thing. Tony with a good point. Winston Reid's got 2 years left on his contract. We'll have to pay him anyway. Why not to use him? I think it's a great point, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. I've not seen... I know when he went to Brentford that he'd sort of put in a couple of man-of-match performances and stuff. But I know you can count on sort of both hands how many starts he's had for them. I couldn't tell you how good he's been at Brentford, but I don't know. I'm actually hoping Brentford come up and want to sign Winston Reid, even if they just take him off our hands for free. I hope we give him a goodbye and let him to go there. Ironex says we should stay clear of Abraham, who'll be another Allier, but even less talented. I don't know if you can. I struggle to buy into that. I've seen a lot of people dismissing Tammy Abraham. I know you're not necessarily saying he's a poor player. You're just saying it perhaps wouldn't fit West Ham. But Abraham's got like a 1 and 2 goal scoring record for it. Okay, in the Championship, also in the Premier League and stuff. I think he's just been hard done by at Chelsea for whatever reason. I think he'd be a terrific striker for us. I really do. I think he'd be absolutely fantastic. That's interesting. I have to say, right, I'm not going to lie, Kent. I didn't even notice. But that's because we've been watching it all season, haven't we? But Kent makes a good point. Both ends of the stadium look better yesterday, now they've been straightened out. I suppose you're in the stadium, it's a completely different perception altogether. I completely forgot about that thing, to be honest. We were just having a laugh about the fact that yourself and other people were going to go and see Jesse Lingard, Craig Dawson, Saeed Benrahma, Vladimir Soufal, all these players. We've never seen them in a West Ham strip before. So you guys always see them for the first time, which is match day 38 out of 38. Jazza says, controversial opinion. Most of the European cities and Europa League big clubs are dumps compared to the cities of the big teams in Europa Conference League, with some exceptions. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think we really care to be honest with you. Tommy says, what's your reaction from the report that Moyes will be 75 million plus? I think, like I said, I think it's a decent enough budget. It's not groundbreaking. There's some clubs rumoured to have big budgets as well. I think Villa are planning another massive spend. Also, Crystal Palace have apparently got a lot of money to spend, but they need it because they've got no players, no manager. They need a lot of money. 75 million. It depends who you buy. You know, Lingard's got to come out of that, hasn't he? So say Lingard's 20 million. Let's say 20 million for Lingard. I think that's a fair price. 20 million for Lingard. That gives us just over 50 million left. And that 20 million is just to keep the squad the same. We're keeping the squad the same for 20 million. That's a problem with loan deals with no sort of options to buy or anything like that. You've got to pay money just to stand still. And I always say to Gonzo, in football, there's no such thing as standing still. You're going forwards. And if you're not going forwards, you're going backwards. Simple as that kind of thing. So we've got to make sure we're just going forwards. What we'll say about the squad, sometimes you do move forwards without investing, and that is your player development. Players have had an extra year and stuff. And I think you can look at Antonio and Creswell and Balbuena, given their ages and injuries, and say, will they be as good next season? But you've also got to look at, say, Ben Rama, you've got to look at Bowen, and you've got to look especially Pablo Fornals and think, surely they're going to get even better next year. I think Pablo Fornals will be our hand of the year next year. I think he's had a really strong season, but if he can add the finishing, and he's not in the Spanish squad, which is not surprising. I've seen a few people asking why Fornals ain't in the Spain squad for the Euros. Not a surprise. But it might actually help us, him not being in there, actually. It might just help us. He just absolutely loves being at West Ham. Chichio says, United giving an offer of 25 million in Lingard, yes or no? You either pay and get him or you don't pay him and never see him again. I think I'd pay it. Because it go back to that squad harmony. He fits in with it. He just absolutely fits in. You can see, Declan Rice's goal celebration, turn around looking for Jesse. There they are doing a goal celebration kind of thing. That full time. Jesse and Declan have got a right little bromance going on. I'm saying that. I think Declan's got it with everyone, Fredericks and Noble, and Antonio's got it with Fornals and stuff. But Jesse's fitted in at West Ham so far. He's getting to play 90 minutes week in, week out. I think it'd be silly not to stay at West Ham next season. Should we be able to afford him and do a deal with Man United? Just that kind of thing. Mitchell said there won't be a 75 million spent unless Rice gets so. I agree, Mitchell. I don't think it's 75. If our net spend is 75 million, I'm not going to do anything, but I will be surprised. I will be genuinely surprised what they can do. And the club are expecting Frederick Alvarez to step up. Happy to let Balbuena go. I agree with that. I do think there's going to be. I think they are probably looking at him. It's partly supposed to be pretty good kind of thing. Jack says Antonio deserves being in the England squad better than Watkins. I think he deserves it. I think Antonio deserves it, but I don't think he's better than Ollie Watkins. I think Ollie Watkins is a far better striker than Mikel Antonio because, and this is someone that has defended Antonio a lot as a striker. I think he's done really well for us, but I think Watkins is the hardest working striker in the Premier League. The way he runs, the way he closes down defenders, his finishing is better than Antonio's as well. I can't agree with you there, Jack. I'm sorry. I think Watkins is a much better striker, personally. Russell, are you leaving? No, not yet. I don't know. I'm not sure. I shouldn't have clicked. I didn't mean to click on that one. Basically, I've seen that, and I've seen Gary's one as well. It's because of my tweet yesterday. I basically put out a tweet saying thanks to everybody sort of tuning in over the season. I don't know what I'm doing with Hammers Chat next season. Everyone knows. I had a job interview recently, and if I get the job, I'll be working weekends. So I won't be watching football. I won't be able to do the review. And if I'm not watching the games as much, I can't do the previews and stuff like that. One thing, why you can question the quality of the channel's content, all right? I'm all for that. Me and Gonzo put our hands up and say, at times, it's a bit crap, all right? Because we try and do one video a day, and sometimes it dilutes it. I mean, it was a couple of weeks ago, Gonzo phoned me and said, I haven't done a video today. I said, neither have I. We both laughed and said, there's nothing to talk about. We're just talking about European football again and again and again and again and again. So, but anyway, I'm getting off tangent there. The reason is sort of like this Hammers Chat's my only income, it's Gonzo's only income as well kind of thing. And it's just not enough. And we've done We've tried to make it full-time for the last 4 months. Since about January, I left my job trying to make this full-time as well. And we've got our Patreon, which has gone a lot better than we expected. And we hope to take it up to enough to do Hammers Chat full-time. A bit of Patreon, a bit of sponsorship kind of stuff here and there. And we're not that far away. We're not far away, but it's just not close enough. And unfortunately, it means that I need to get a job. I don't have enough money. So I need to get a job. If I either need Hammers Chat to grow like that overnight, or we get a lot more patrons like that overnight. And if we can't, then I'm going to have to take this job. And I think I'm going to get it. And I know some people say, hang on a minute, you shouldn't say that. But they know I want to do Hammers Chat full time. Of course I do. Why would you not want to do a job talking about West Ham? Mental. So anyway, yeah, myself and Gonzo, we've done our best. We've done our best to make it full time, but it's not quite there yet. If you go to the Patreon link, it's patreon.com/Hammershot. Click on that. It tells you the percentage to doing it sort of full time. It's just under 70%. It's just under 70%. So like I said, it's close, but it's quite far away as well. So if I get this job, I won't be doing much videos. I think I won't be doing much with Hammers Chat at all next year, to be honest with you. So it'll be sad, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I need the pennies. So anyway. Chris is right. I'll get to watch the European nights. All right. Okay, there you go. I can do 6 match reviews for you, but I'll be at the home game, so I won't be able to do those ones. Well, that's the problem, innit? I have a season ticket I can't use. But it helps with us playing on Sundays. Anyway, Revo says that you became a Hammers Chat addict for you guys to make this job better happen. Yeah, you're not the only one. A lot of people did. We're doing our best. We're doing our best. And we try and do it every day, and I know not everybody expects us to do a video every day, but we think it's important for people that are in a routine, particularly during lockdown kind of thing. We have done our best to do one a day kind of thing. Anyway, right, let's get back to football. No one come on to talk about Hammers Chat or Geo, so let's get back to football. There was some decent questions. I've been chatting away, waffling as always. And Glenn wants Frankfurt. Which 3 teams do you want to see in our Europa League group? I'll tell you what, when I do a live with Gio, I like to sort of get a live live chat opinion kind of thing. Who do you want in the Europa League group stage? Live chat, people watching live, getting them up. And if you're watching this on playback, put your teams in the comments below, because I'm interested, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not that bothered. And I don't really want 3 big clubs. Some people have picked them 3 massive clubs around Europe. I would like one of them. But I also want 2 rubbish ones. I want 2 teams that we're going to beat. I want out of this group stage. I don't want to be getting knocked out kind of thing. So get them in. Shane straight in says Lazio. James is St. Johnson. I'm not 100% sure who's qualified, by the way. So if I'm clicking on people and they're not qualified, then I'm sorry. Gary says Marseille, Napoli, Celtic. Yeah, I mean, Celtic I'd like Celtic. If Emma says Bromby. Andy just wants a German club. He's not too bothered. I can't remember who's in it. Frankfurt's in it. Bayer Leverkusen's in it. That would be massive. Alex, yes, Alex, thank you. This is my thinking. I'll have a big club. It's like Countdown. Do you know when they do Countdown? They do the numbers, and they'll have 2 big ones and sort of 4 small ones. I'm a bit like that. I'm like, I'll have a big one and 2 small ones, please, Carol. We've got Glenn, we've got a video coming up about the Europa League in 2 days. Wednesday, we've got a video about the Europa League. We'll cover everything then, I can promise you then. Ben, myself and Gordon have done a video about that. If you go to the forum channel, we've done a video about the Hammer of the Year. My opinion, I wasn't sure. During the video, I decided it was going to be Declan Rice. After Sunday, it's only sort of confirm what I want to do or who I want to vote for. And that's Declan. I think I had a look. Well, I think without Declan, I think we played 6 games, lost 3, conceded 9. Declan came back 3 games. We got 7 points, conceded 2 goals. We need him. We need Declan. He's the most important player. I think he's been absolutely superb for us this season. I think he's stepped it up a level. And I think he's changed the way he plays as well, made him even more important for West Ham. He's just, yeah, see, Josh is saying Declan Rice as well, because he says he's a special player. He is a special player. And the way he finished, by the way, that goal, that finish against Southampton, that's a striker's finish. If a striker did what Rice did, we would have been applauding how composed he was, how good the finish was. That was an unbelievable finish. He sat the keeper down, McCarthy, on your arse, and I'll just slot it in at the near post kind of thing. There's some attacking players in our squad who wouldn't have done what Declan Rice done. What if who would have? They would have just kept it calm and got the goal kind of thing. But not everybody. Not everybody. Anime says, would you take Reece Oxford? I'll tell you what. I've seen that he is... I see he's been doing all right, actually. He got man of the match last week, I think it was, for Augsburg, playing centre-back. He got man of the match. I think he's doing all right. He's doing okay. But 3 million, I guess so. That's it. Just say for nows. I don't know what you mean, Chris. I'm talking about how many years Declan Rice. You know, I'm not pretending it's someone else. And the Manager of the Year award has just started. Well, I didn't know that. I feel like obliged to drag it out until we got the announcement, and hopefully it is David Moyes. I see Bielsa won the BBC Manager of the Year, which is like voted by, obviously, participants of the BBC website. Doesn't surprise me. If, possibly controversial, if we finish 7th, right, West Ham finished 7th this season, I think I would have gave it to Bielsa. But we didn't. We finished 6th. So it is David Moyes, as far as I'm concerned. It's a bit like, I don't know, like say Leicester City finished 2nd. If Leicester won the title, Brendan Rodgers would have had to be manager here, but they finished 2nd. It doesn't necessarily have to be. And I was a bit like that. If West Ham finished 7th, I would have gave it to Bielsa, but we didn't. We finished 6th, so Moyes is my Manager of the Year as well, kind of thing. Alan, I will not be putting on the England Rice shirt. I've got one here, though. I've got one here for sort of advertisement purposes and stuff, but I'm never wearing it. You're not getting me to wear that. There's no way I'm putting on an England top. There's just nothing at all. Ginger and DeCaro, Curtis says Lazio, Braga and Loka Moscow would be a good group. That would be a tasty group, wouldn't it? Big clubs in there. Oh, Chris said when I said certain attacking players can finish like Rice, I could just say for. To be honest with you, I was thinking of more finals. Rice's chance yesterday. Where did I put money on Antonio scoring that? I don't think so. I often think Antonio's better when it's instinct, when he doesn't have time to think, hit it kind of thing. I think Antonio's better then. When he's got to run and do something, that's when I think Antonio's not great. Fornals, I think Fornals is the opposite. When Fornals has time, I think he's actually quite good at finishing, but it's when he has to hit it. I don't think he's that good. Because he's a bit of a, sounds a bit silly, Fornals is a bit of a side footer. He always goes for placement. And when you're sort of 7 yards out, the ball gets pulled back to you, there's usually bodies in your way kind of thing. Placing is not always the best option. I think Bowen might have struggled. Bear in mind he was on the left-hand side. Maybe I'm cheating to get that. Lingard would have scored that. Ben Rama would have scored that. I think Noble would have scored it. Would he have the pace to get there? I'm not so sure, but it's just a few. Anyway, Kyle, how far will Scotland get the Euros? Not very far. I'm not gonna. I'll be honest with you, Kyle. I'm not expecting to get out the group stages. It's going to be difficult, isn't it? It's just going to be difficult because even forget the fact we're in England's group. Forget that we've got Czech Republic and Croatia. It's the group of death. It's the group of death. So, I mean, Irish Tom makes a good point here. Antonio was doing goal against West Brom. We didn't know what he was doing. Thankfully, Johnson brought him. I mean, that is a fair point. Antonio didn't do the best, did he? Kind of thing. Yeah, I've seen that. That this is the first time Spain have never taken a Real Madrid player to the Euros. To be honest with you, there's no one in the squad that jumps out. Not the biggest sort of watcher La Liga. I know they've got Sergio Ramos, but it doesn't really bother me that, to be honest with you, kind of thing. Sport Czech Republic, if Scotland don't make it out of the group, I'll be supporting anyone that England play, to be honest with you. But we'll save that for another day. I do think we'll sign Lingard, Harry. I do. No, I'm not eating a banana. What kind of reception will Payet get? think you'll get a mixed one. I think when he warms up, I think he'd get a light applause. When he's during the game, I think he'd get booed. If he got subbed off, I think he'd probably get a standing ovation. Should we not be getting thumped by Marseille? I think he'd get a standing ovation when he got subbed off. And at the end, or if he stayed on till the end, I think it depends what Payet does as well. If Payet just goes straight down the tunnel, that's that. But Payet was to be a bit savvy about it, shake everyone's hands, be the last Marseille player down the tunnel. If he was just to linger and then just be on the pitch on his own with some West Ham fans, West Ham players or whatever, and just applaud the fans, I think he'd get a really good reception back, to be honest with you. I do think he'd get a top reception from the fans. Well, we all give it this, we all give it that, and we all sort of suggest he's this and we hate him and stuff. I think time's gone on now. I think everybody's calmed down. Obviously, West Ham are in a really good place just now, kind of thing. I think he'd get a really good reception, to be honest with you. No, Vortex. I think Forrest used to be good. I used to be rating, but I wouldn't take him to West Ham anymore, kind of thing. Should we sign a keeper in the summer? It depends on the budget. If it's 75 million and Sam Johnson is 10 million, then yeah, go for it. But if it's 50 million and Sam Johnson's 15 million, then no, I wouldn't, because it depends on how Fabianski's injury is. But it's clearly not that bad because, he played yesterday, but also he's off to the Euros, kind of thing. But it is a situation where we've sort of put ourselves in by giving Fabianski that contract extension. Yes, Marcus, I've seen that. Don, live chat, help me here. Don Perez, I think his name is. I think he's a centre midfielder. The only reason I know that is because Scotland seem to be playing Israel every second week at the minute. They're always in the groups together, the qualifying groups, the UEFA Nations Leagues groups. We're always in. We're always playing Israel, the qualifiers as well for the Euros. And he plays centre midfield for them. Don Perez, I think it's Perez, Pertez or something. I've seen it. I'm not reading too much into it, kind of thing. Jamie says, having Jay Ling showing Moist type of player we need rather than us needing Lingard, would you have Van de Beek? Well, that's an interesting shout. That's quite a clever way of thinking it, So rather than us, basically, Jay Lings are saying to David Moyes, you need a player like me in your team. And I think we do sometimes. I did it when we did the Patreon videos, and this is a shameless plug for the Patreon as well, because myself and Gonzo are a little bit not more controversial on purpose. Sometimes you have an opinion, and you just keep it to yourself sometimes, because there's no point putting this out there. It might be a bit negative, it might be a bit controversial. It's not going to go down well. There's a big Saeed Ben Rama fan club on YouTube, and I don't mean West Ham fans, I mean non-West Ham fans. They're Saeed Ben Rama fans, essentially, and they come on to the channel and say, if you're ever going to say anything negative about Ben Rama, it's worth hiding in the video like now, doing it at the end rather than on the title, although it is good clickbait. And I remember talking about Lingard with the patrons, and I basically said about Jesse, because I didn't have the balls to say in match review, it was the Brighton game, and Jesse had been quiet for 2 or 3 games now. And I was saying the problem is when Jesse joined, before Jesse Lingard, we played as a team. We set up sometimes through at the back. We were a very solid unit. We had goals coming from all over the pitch, kind of thing. We didn't rely on one player. And there was a real team effort. Now, when Lingard's come in done really well, we've now started to build our team around him a little bit, not completely, but he's playing in this number 10 role. We didn't have that at the start of the season. We sort of played 3 at the back. It was almost like a 3-4-3 we played. We had Antonio up front with Fernals and Bo on either side of him, Masuaku, Rice, Suchek, Sufal, and a back 3. You know what I'm talking about. But now we're playing 4 at the back with Fernals, Bowen, and Lingard in the hole. So we've changed our formation to basically help to suit Jesse Lingard, get the best out of Jesse. He has to play in that role. So we've changed our formation to some extent. And when you do that, you need that man, Jesse in this case. He has to play well because he has to justify it. And when Jesse don't turn up, that's when I think we sometimes get a little bit poor, or we look at Jesse and get a bit frustrated because we've not compromised. We've changed the way we've played successfully at the first half of the season to accommodate you, to get the best out of you. And when you're not performing, we're in trouble. And it's not just West Ham. It's like Man United. Bruno Fernandes has to turn up. They're building a team around Fernandes. He's got to turn up, kind of thing. City sometimes will build their side around whether it's Kevin De Bruyne or Foden. That helps. The other players are world class too. But they will sometimes build the team around somebody, even if it's just for one game. You need that player to turn up. And I just think when Lingard didn't turn up, he looked crap and we sort of struggled a little bit because we were, well, got to get the ball to him. Anyway, that's a long theory. It doesn't really matter anymore, doesn't it now? I'm going to stand by this, JP. This was on Twitter. England win the World Cup. Well, so England with the Euros. It is the club v country debate. I will pick Scotland winning the World Cup over anything with West Ham. I still believe the World Cup is the pinnacle of a footballer's career. I would take West Ham winning the Premier League or the FA Cup over Scotland winning the Euros, because I don't think the Euros is that high. But it goes World Cup, sort of domestic league and FA Cup, then the Euros, then the League Cup kind of thing. I'd probably put the Champions League and Europa League in with the Premier League as well. It depends what the cup competition is, but I'm a big Scotland fan. And I'm not going to sort of, I know a lot of people aren't too fussed about the old England thing, but I've always supported Scotland. Mark, what's your favourite, Hammers chat highlight of the season? Having Declan come on after the game or the celebration after the Lanzini equaliser or something else? It's going to have to be Declan, isn't it? It's got to be. We literally had Declan Rice just appear on the channel during a review, even if it was just for 5 minutes. He just come on. I mean, how can you? It's mental. Myself and Gonzo weren't expecting it. It happened. You can tell we weren't very prepared. And when we did our, we tried to stay composed. So once he left, yeah, see you, Declan. Let's talk about the game. Remember, when we ended the broadcast, myself and Gonzo, right? We ended the broadcast. We just giggled and we sort of did the player ratings on the Patreon straight after. And the first 2-3 minutes of the player ratings video, it's just me and Gonzo giggling. We're just giggling like little boys because Declan Rice come on the channel. So yeah, it's got to be Declan Rice coming on for me. That has to be the number one. It's mental. Connor, I'll tell the story one day. How did Declan end up coming on the video? We'll cover it one day. We've got the story about that. We've got the Jesse Lingard interview. We either got Jesse coming up next week or the week after. We either got Jesse Lingard interview or Jesse Lingard interview story. It's one of the two. More tired than the Declan Rice kind of things as well. James, away tickets for Europa League? I'd forget it personally. Trust me, I would love to go to a Europa League away game. I will try and go, but I just can't see it at all, kind of thing. Anime, who's your personal ideal striker? I don't know. You always get this, but I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I don't. You just got to shrug and say, well, my knowledge isn't good enough. I'm not a football scout. I'm not a football expert. I'm just a West Ham fan on webcam. I don't have one. Sometimes I will have one. Like a few years ago, I had Danny Ings. I would have loved Danny Ings at West Ham. But now, I don't know. Probably Tammy Abraham, to be honest with you. If you could interview one person at West Ham, who would it be? Noble. It has to be. Although I'd like to interview him in a year's time. Not now, in a year's time. But Mark Noble would be my number one. All right, listen, I don't like doing these for more than half an hour because I keep it short. Half an hour is a long bloody time, isn't it? I try and keep it to half an hour at the most. I've gone over that. So sorry to everybody watching on playback, thinking, well, this guy shut up. But anyway, good to disappear. Thank you very much for joining us on joining me on this little random live watch. West Ham have done it. We're in the Europa League. What a good feeling this is. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like on it and all that good stuff. And I'll catch you in a bit.